This is Palm Beach Live, Work, Play. I'm Tim Bird, the Birdman. And this is Up Close and Personal with Sheriff Rick Bradshaw.
We are at PBSO with Sheriff Bradshaw. It's good to see you again.
Betcha.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has
My goodness, a lot's been going on since I saw you last.
Very much
You
so.
look good.
Thank you.
How are our borders here, meaning the water around our state? What's going on with us
Well,
here?
fortunately for us, we're not experiencing the same thing they're experiencing on the border down in Mexico.
Yes.
But it was a close call for us not to have to bear the brunt of what's happening in the El Paso area. And what I mean by that was the Border Patrol had made a tentative decision that they were going to take 1,000 people a month that they have in the El Paso area, which is a serious overflow. They got a terrible problem there. Take those 1,000 people a month, split them between Broward and Palm Beach County, and bring them to their processing centers. This one would be at the port. And process them there, give them a notice to appear, which means they're going to have to come back at some future time within a year to court to resolve their issue, and then they were going to release them into the community.
Oh.
Not a good idea on any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Now, that was the bad side. The good side of it is because I have the relationship that I do with Border Patrol, because we're the lead agency for Homeland Security, they came to us and said, look, this is our intentions, because they had some concerns about transportation of the people from the airport to their facility. They wanted to use our transportation, and then let us know what was transpiring.
Right.
As soon as I found out that this was going to be their plans, and this was, we have a great working relationship with Border Patrol. It's a problem they're trying to resolve, but like I told them, the fact that the Congress can't get this issue resolved in a amicable manner does not make it my problem. So at that point in time, I called Senator Rubio, I called Senator Scott, I got a hold of Congressman Ted Deutsch in Lois Frankel's office, also got a hold of the governor's office, and then put a call into the White House. Right. It's just not an acceptable thing to do. And there's a multitude of reasons, right? I get the fact that this is a humanitarian thing. It's unfortunate that the people have to flee their country to get to a better life. But when you're talking about humanitarian, I don't think it's too humanitarian to take people that have a stable environment right now, at least they have shelter, at least they have food, somebody's taking care of them, and bring them to an area where they have no money, no transportation, no shelter.
No health situation.
No, and we really don't know what their health is anyhow. They give them a screening down there, but it's not very in-depth.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what their criminal background is either. Now, they said it was family units to start with, then that changed. It may not be family units, but we know about 40% of these, quote, family units are really not family units. The kids are being rented out.
Right.
So I also talked with the local delegation here. I also talked with the county manager and our elected officials. The mayor was very instrumental in helping this effort out. The police chiefs were very helpful. Their organization wrote a letter to the governor's office also with their objections. So at the end of the day, the collective effort of everybody, Border Patrol decided that they don't think this is a good idea anymore, and they're going to take the people that were going to come here and they're going to move them to an area much closer to the El Paso area.
There's a lot to be said for a man like you who has experience, a lot to be said for relationships and influence, because as we've talked about before, Homeland Security is here because of your relationship with Homeland Security instead of Miami. And so they played an integral part in sort of nipping this in the bud, which really could have been, who knows what would have happened countywide.
Well, we have a homeless problem here now.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a hepatitis A outbreak, measles outbreak. Our resources here are already pushed to the limit on people that are legitimately here to start with.
Yes.
Right? Not to mention the effort that I'm putting in to protect our borders from people that are trying to illegally come in here. So I don't need 500 people a month being brought from somewhere else that are already illegally here in the country, dropped off here, and tax our resources even more. So the humanitarian part I get. I think it's more humanitarian to leave them there in a stable environment such as it is. We have been very much assured that this is not going to happen, and it's not going to happen in the future either.
Well, and you also have a relationship with President Trump, the pre-presidential days, for years and years. So it wasn't like you had to do a quick get to know you thing and say, listen, we can't do this, because here are the reasons.
Yeah. And to be, fair and balanced on everybody's part, really nobody in the federal government knew. The senators didn't know. The White House didn't know.
Really?
DeSantis's office didn't know about this. This was a decision made at some level of the Border Patrol, thinking that they could disperse these people to different areas, and this was just not a wise choice.
Wow. Sounds like there was no rhyme or reason to it as well, maybe. I don't know.
Some of these things, legitimately, they've got an issue to deal with.
Yeah.
So they just needed to think it through a little bit more into where these people are going to go.
Well, as a county,
Yeah.
we can be grateful.
I think that the people that live here can be grateful on a lot of levels. But, there's enough places around the United States that have already said, bring them all here and we'll do whatever we need to do. We'll welcome them and we have the resources to deal with them. Well, that's fine. If in fact that's the truth, then I think they need to go there.
Yeah, there are towns in states like Iowa and, sparse, not highly populated areas where those people could breathe.
Yeah, I think there's a significant places in California that said they can handle it. So they've reevaluated it. Border Patrol is fine. I mean, our relationship is still strong with them. We work very, very closely with them, and we're good to go.
What about as far as our water borders? How many people are there numbers, or can you speak to that as far as people still trying to get through a back door or a side door here?
Yeah, they're still trying to do that,
Really?
without a doubt. And you're going to see the more that they clamp down on the Mexican border, the more you're going to see it try to come through here.
Really?
Yep, without a doubt.
And what are we finding? What are we finding?
A multitude.
Yeah.
It's just not what you might think it was 20 years ago, where somebody like the Cuban boat lift type of people, or somebody from the Haiti area. These are Venezuelans, they're Chinese nationals, Brazilians, you name it. There's a multitude of people that are trying to get through here now that can't make it through the Mexican border.
Right, and we're
on it. Count on it.
That's all we needed to hear.
We're on it.
Sheriff Rick Bradshaw.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
My pleasure.
This is Up Close and Personal with Sheriff Rick Bradshaw. I'm Tim Bird, the Birdman. This is Palm Beach Live, Work, Play, and we speak to the sheriff every so often because he's generous with us and with his time to let us know what's going on, and we want to pass it along to you. So we'll see you next time. We'll have some more interesting things to impart to you. Thanks for watching.